Hi you guys, welcome to my latest video. This one is a sales update from all my sales on Facebook Marketplace. I've been listing stuff on Facebook Marketplace and also cross-listing it from eBay to Facebook Marketplace for a good few weeks now, and I've been doing really well, and I'm really starting to put that into my business plan. So join me as I show you what I sold and how much I sold it for on Facebook Marketplace over the last month. This was a Boombox by Bush. Unfortunately the CD player was faulty with it. Tried cleaning it, wouldn't work, so I decided instead of dumping it, I would put it on Facebook Marketplace for £5 because the cassette player and the radio still worked. So advertised it like that. It'd been on there for a while, then somebody messaged me, said they'd take it. I messaged them back and said, you know, are you sure you've read the description? Do you know about the CD player? And they said, fine, yeah, I know that. All I want to do is play my old tapes. So they were happy with it. I basically got my money back on it because it would have cost me £5, roughly £5 to buy. And yeah, they took it and presumably are very happy with it. Now, a few weeks ago we had really nice weather. It was a beautiful sunny day. And I took the opportunity to go through some things that I'd had in the death piles that were suitable for outdoor use. So I had some bouncy castles, I had paddling pools and this water slide. So I decided to take the opportunity to get them all on there. Advertised this, £15, and it sold really quickly. I should have really priced this higher because the shops had sold out of all that sort of stuff. So people were desperate to get it, especially the sun was shining. It was a beautiful hot day. Anyway, so I probably could have got £30 for this, I reckon, but I sold it for 15. The person came along and picked it up, really happy with it. It was brand new, but the box was very tatty. And at the point of listing it, I didn't really consider there was a demand for it over the supply of it, so I really could have got a better price, but they agreed to pick it up and I honoured the sale, even though my phone went off the hook as soon as I advertised it. Again, this sold on the same day, the really nice day, and it sold for £30. Again, I probably could have got a little bit more for this on the basis that all the shops had sold out. This sold really quick. Maybe I've got £40 for this, but I was happy to see it go. I did actually have to blow this up though. Although it was brand new, the box was open, and I didn't know the history of it, so I had to blow it up. But I did that, still sold it as new, but I'd tested it out and they were happy with that. And yeah, I sold it for £30. Again, on the same day, this tent sold. This is one of those pop-up ones where it went in a bag and you basically take out the bag and it completely pops up with no poles or any sort of frame at all. All you need to do is just maybe peg it down. And this sold really quick at £20, which was cheap because these are probably worth more, but the bag it was in was quite storage worn because it had been in my shed for a long time. So I was happy with £20 for it, really, just to get it gone. On that same day I sold this bike. This was a nice sale, nice girl's bike here, pretty thing, it had the carrier on the back, had the mud guards, came with a pair of stabilisers, nice condition, a little bit of wear and tear on it a little bit, but it sold for £25. This was a sale that also sold on that really hot summer's day. This is a T-piece slide. I've actually got two of these. I've got a 3 metre one and I've got a 2.3 metre. The 2.3 metre one sold, and the person offered me £30 for it. I was happy to see that gone because these have been in the way for many years. My kids are too big to use them now, so that I don't need it. I haven't got the frame anymore that this went with, But what somebody wanted to do was attach it to their tree house, which is perfect. So they bought that, but when they were there they also bought this, which is an extension for the slide. So once you go down the slide, it gives you that extra couple of meters of flat sliding on the floor. They offered me an extra £10. This had a little bit of damage to it, so I was happy to see that gone as well, so I took the £40 for the pair. This was another item that sold on that hot summer's day. This is a Bouncy Castle. Like the swimming pool, I had to attempt to blow this up to check whether it's okay, because the box was open even though it was brand new. I didn't know the history of it, so I blew it up, but because I didn't have a particularly good pump, I had to blow it up the best I can and then just see if I could hear any deflation at all if I pressed down on it and things. It seemed fine, so I advertised it, £20, which was actually quite cheap. I reckon I could have got a lot more for this because the shops had completely sold out. Anyway, so the person came along, bought it, took it away, then messaged me later on saying that it started to deflate. Now whether that was something they'd done or whether it was you know, faulty, there was a puncture somewhere, I don't know. Again, I tried to pump it up the best I can and check it, but maybe I missed something, I don't know. But I asked them if they were going to try and fix it, because obviously I didn't really want to give a refund. And they said they'd give it a go and try, which they did, and I never heard back from them, so I'm assuming they were still happy with it, because £20 was a good deal, considering you couldn't get one for love nor money that day. Yeah, I probably could have got twice as much for this, but it's possible that you know, it did have some sort of hole in it or something. I don't know, but presumably they were happy in the end. This was a nice sale because I had about 5 of these, and I managed to get rid of them all on that hot summer's day. These are buggy parasols that fit prams and things. As you can see here, there's a clip on the bottom. I did actually notice after I sold the first one that there's a split here. Now I didn't notice that, and somebody, because I used the same photo for all of the 5 I had, somebody said there's a split on it, and I thought, oh yeah, there is. I'd already sold that one, but I had no problems with them messaging me or anything, so I assume they were happy. It was probably not an important split on it, but for £5 they're a bargain anyway. I've had them for a long time and I just wanted them cleared now. They sell on eBay, but with the postage on it I'm not really making a huge amount, so for £5 on Facebook with no fees and no packing, it's well worth it. I had black ones and I also had these blue ones, basically identical to the black ones, and yeah, sold them for £5 each as well. This was a nice item I got from a contact. I actually had 2 of these. I had this one and I had this one. I advertised them both for £30 each. Somebody messaged me and I think he wanted, I think it was £50 for the pair, which I was happy with because it was a quick flip. They literally sold maybe about 2 or 3 hours of me getting home from collecting them. Quick flip, get rid of them. They'll take, you know, they take up quite a lot of space, and I didn't want them hanging around, so I was happy with the quick flip, and yeah, it recouped a little bit of my money that I'd spent on that haul. This was a nice sale because it was something that I could basically consider to be worthless. This was a skateboard that I've had in my shed for a long time. It's well worn, lots of marks on it, and even is missing the grip tape from the top. So I thought that, you know, it's basically worthless, but I thought that somebody might want it for spare wheels or something. Anyway, so I put it on Facebook for £5, and yeah, somebody came and picked it up. I was quite surprised it actually sold, and I did actually get a lot of messages about this, so maybe there's something I'm missing with this, I don't know. But yeah, it's gone, and I'm pleased with the £5, and it saves me taking it to the tip. This was an item that I'd had on sale on eBay for ages, maybe 8 or 9 months. It's a set of vacuum cleaner attachments for a vintage Kirby machine. Quite niche, I would have thought. And I had it on for £30. I think it was actually a lot cheaper on eBay at this point, because I'd left it on Facebook, but I'd been every time it relists on eBay, I'd been adjusting the price, and somebody messaged me, offered me £20 on Facebook, and I ripped their hand off. So yeah, that sold, and I was very happy with the £20 back on that. Came from the car boot sale, I think, originally. This was a nice sale that I made on that hot summer's day. It's a 16-inch child's bike. Nice one. It's got the stabilisers. It was in fairly good condition. Didn't look like it had been used that much. And yeah, somebody was really pleased with it. Lovely bike there for a child. The kids actually came to pick it up because I think they wanted to see if it fitted, and they looked over the moon with it. So yeah, nice to see that going to a good home. This is another item that sold on Facebook, but I also had advertised on eBay. Somebody offered me £15 for it, and yeah, I was very happy to accept that with no packaging involved and no eBay fees. And yeah, it was a made in Germany guillotine. This was a reasonably quick flip as well. I bought this from a contact, quite cheap, and I just quickly listed it. I didn't even bother cleaning it or doing anything with it. As you can see, it's still got all the sort of moss on it. It's a cast iron parasol base for big sunshade, and yeah, this sold for £20, and they came and picked it up, and it was yeah, really quick sale. I don't think I even bothered lifting it up my drive. I think I literally pulled it out my car, put it at the side of my car, took a photo, and it was gone within a couple of hours. This is something I thought would sell for a little bit more than what it did. This is a extra large dog cage. It's for a larger dog. It had 2 doors on it, and it folds completely flat. But they seem to sell for about £20 on eBay, delivered, so there wasn't as much profit in it as I thought there would be. And this was well used, and it had bits of rust on the frame. So yeah, I put it on for £20 collection, and yeah, somebody came and picked it up. It took me about a week to get rid of this, but yeah, it was a nice enough item, but yeah, it just didn't seem to have the value I thought it would have. You know, for one of this type of item. This took about a week to sell as well. This is a space scooter. It was quite rusty from storage in my quite damp barn, which had been there for a long time. I cleaned it up a little bit the best I could. Sprayed it with some WD-40 and some oil on the chain. It was all working fine. It was just in a bit of a rough condition. So I sold it as such for £20. Yeah, and somebody picked it up and presumably pleased with it. This bike is something I've had for a very long time. This was actually my bike at one point. It's been stored in damp conditions again. This is a 26-inch bike. It's too small for me really, which is why I never really used it, and it's been in my barn for a long time. And as you can see, it has bits of rust on it. So yeah, it was just a case of getting rid of this for what I could get, because it was in quite poor condition. Although there was nothing actually wrong with it, it still worked. So I put it on for £30. I think I probably could have got a lot more for this, because the demand for bikes is quite high at the moment. And as you'll see shortly, I've sold other bikes since for a little bit more money, so I think I might have been able to get about £50 for this, but was happy to see it go. It was time for it to get out my barn because I'm trying to clear them. Yeah, nice easy sale. This is another thing I've had in my barn for a while, so I thought it's time to get rid of it. It's a moss eater. Now I generally, I'm not really the gardener type, so I generally cut my lawn and that's it. I'm not really that bothered about moss and things. So yeah, I decided to get rid of this. I stuck it on Facebook for £15 because I didn't actually have the buckets for it. Anyway, so it sold, somebody picked it up, but then I actually found the bucket later on, so I messaged him and he's apparently going to pick up the bucket, although that was 2 weeks ago and he still hasn't done so. So if he hasn't come by the end of next week, I think I'm just going to stick the bucket on Facebook as for a £5 or something, get rid of it. This is something I picked up from my contact. It's a wheelchair from Drive. Nice condition. Now the person who bought this bought it for their mother, I think, who's not so good on her feet anymore, but she usually walks around, but apparently when she's in supermarkets she finds it hard to quickly move away from anybody who's not socially distancing. So what they wanted was to put her in this chair and then they can quickly wheel her away from anybody that's getting too close. So that's basically why they wanted it. They offered me £30 for it, which I was pleased to take. I've got another 4 wheelchairs in stock at the moment, so I was pleased to see this gone. Also the safety belt was broken there. They said they weren't bothered about that. So yeah, nice little quick easy sale there. This was another item from my contact. Sold a Flymo Contour XT grass trimmer. This is a really nice grass trimmer actually. Really good quality one. It came with some wire on it as well, you know, the strimmer wire, strimmer line. And yeah, I got this sold for £40. It saves me packaging it up. I probably could have sold this on eBay, but happy with £40 on Facebook. This is a Petrol Chainsaw. Again, I've had this for a long time. It was getting hard to start, and it was a bit of a pain to get started, mixing fuels and adjusting the choke and all of that comes with a petrol powered appliance like this. And I've got an electric chainsaw, and for the amount I actually need a chainsaw for, the electric one does the job. So I've decided to sell the petrol one, and I got £50 for it, which is really good considering I think it was around £100 when it was new, and this was basically sold as working but really hard to start. So yeah, there was a limit to what I could ask without it actually physically showing it working. Yeah, £50 is, I'm pleased to see that gone. This was another bike I sold. It turned out I did a little bit of research on this, and this was actually a vintage Claude Butler Reynolds 500 framed bike from around the 90s, I think. So I priced it £100, but I ended up selling it for 80. It had a few issues. One of the gear wires was missing because it had split at one point and it was just cut off to save it hanging sort of down loose. So it was missing some of the gears. The tyres were also quite cracked from sun fading. They were fine, but you know, depending on how you wanted to use it, you might want to look at replacing the tyres. Anyway, so I sold that with all this declared, and he offered me £80. He took it away, he actually cycled it home, and then later on that evening he was starting moaning, saying there's problem with this, there's problem with this, and I had to say, I'm sorry, it's a Facebook purchase. You had the opportunity to check it. It's sold as seen. Luckily I haven't heard back from him, so presumably he's happy with that. He's just accepted it. But he got a bargain really, because these Claude Butler bikes are worth a lot more than £80. This was a nice, quick, easy sale. I didn't even bother putting these on eBay because of the cost of delivery. Probably wouldn't have made it worth it. So I thought £10 for these on Facebook, quick and out the way. It was 32 small dinosaur toys. I just took a picture of them bundled up like that. £10 collection, and yeah, somebody came and picked them up within a couple of days of it advertised. Quite pleased with that sale. So they basically owed me nothing. They came as part of a toy bundle. This was a bit of an interesting sale because it had been in my barn for a while, had a bit of tarnish on it. I advertised it for £20, not really knowing anything about it, selling it as a garden or outside wall hanging art piece. Somebody said they'd pick it up, which eventually they did, and they wanted to put it along their fence panels. They wanted to buy all of these similar sort of things and basically line their fence with decorative items. But when I was looking on eBay, they seemed to sell for less than £20 brand new, so I'm not really sure why he paid £20 for a second-hand one, but he did nonetheless, and he was really pleased when he picked it up. So yeah, maybe I'm missing something, but I was pleased to see it go. This chair was something that I would normally just take to the tip, but as the tips are closed, you know, I can't really dispose of it very easily, so I thought I'd stick it on Facebook for a £5, which is basically just a token gesture really, for all the hassle of listing it and stuff like that. And I told it ideal for upcycling, because it was a metal framed plastic wicker chair, because that wicker isn't actually real wicker, it's plastic, but it's got the full metal frame around it. And yeah, somebody wanted it to do their project with whilst in isolation, I think. So yeah, they were pleased with that for a £5. They said that was absolutely perfect for their little project. So I got a £5 and they got a nice chair. Win-win. This drum kit came from my contact. It came in the box. I thought it was basically brand new, but when I got it home and I went to set it up, had a little bit of damage on it here and there, and it had missing the drum that's on the floor there was missing its stand. It's supposed to go on a little stand, so that was missing, and it was also missing a pair of drumsticks. I only had one drumstick. I actually have a load of drumsticks from a big bundle that I usually sell for about £8 each, a pair, sorry. And I put them with it, so they've got some drumsticks with it, and sold it as is. And yeah, somebody picked it up, paid £10, and actually sent me a video of their kid playing the drums, and yeah, he looked really pleased with it. So yeah, very happy with that sale. This is a vintage wheelbarrow from probably the 1970s, I guess. It had a split tyre, as you can see. And to replace the tyre, you've got to actually remove the weld on the frame. It's been in my barn for many, many years. It was actually in there when I moved into the house. But somebody wanted it for a planter. I had it on sale for probably about a week, and somebody offered me £30 for it. So I was pleased to see that go, really. I didn't want to hang on for it for any longer. Ideal as a planter. There's a big oversized wheelbarrow, yeah, and then you don't have to bother replacing the wheel, so yeah, nice to see that be moved on to a new purpose. This Halfords LED rechargeable light set was quite nice. They go for about £15 at Halfords, I think, so £10, a brand new, £10 on Facebook is well worth it. The guy picked it up, very happy with it, and I didn't really have to do anything. I just used basic photos to get it listed, and yeah, got £10. This cat scratch tower was brand new. Unfortunately, it was missing part of it. It's supposed to have, where this bit here is, it was supposed to have something that comes up and the cats play with it. That was missing. So what I did, I took it out of the box, I built it up, and I sold it as is, as brand new, not mentioning anything was missing. So you can get lots of different varieties of these sort of things. And it went on Facebook for £30, which is really good. I was messed about with the collection a little bit by the buyer on this. She was supposed to come one day, cancelled, then she was supposed to come the next day and cancelled, and then she said that could I deliver it. I was a bit sceptical, but I asked her for an address and it was literally just around the corner. So I said I'd go. I took it there, and yeah, she paid the £30. She had trouble because she was disabled and needed somebody to give her a lift, I think, and the lift kept on letting her down. So she was happy with it, and I was happy with the £30. This was an interesting sale. I bought this from my contact as part of a toys job lot, and I put it on eBay, and I put it on Facebook thinking that it would probably be an eBay thing, but it ended up selling on Facebook for full asking price of £30. Had all the items there with it, and had the little manual. I think it was new, but I did sell it as used because I wasn't 100% sure. Didn't bother counting what was in it. I just basically took a photo of what's there. Yeah, and he was really happy. I think it was to add to his collection of this Mobilo Lego type stuff. So yeah, pleased with that sale. This is a golf caddy which I got from my contact. I thought it would be worth a lot more than the £15, but it really isn't. So I decided to stick it on Facebook before I listed it on eBay, because obviously for £15 it's a little bit of a hassle to pack. So I decided to stick it on Facebook, and it sold for £15. So I was pleased with that, to get that gone. I wouldn't say it was a fail because I did make some money on it, but I don't think I'll be picking up another one of these unless it's purely for a Facebook sale. Now this is an interesting sale because of the story behind it. I advertised it, it was brand new, and I used stock pictures. I didn't even bother taking any pictures of the actual item here. But the buyer bought it, he came for it. It's brand new, £20 in Halfords. I advertised it for 15, which is good price. And he picked up because he just bought a new car, and apparently his kids had been sick on the back seat or something of this new car. So he was really pleased to get something to cover his seats up. So that's the reason he was wanting it. This is something that had been in my barn for a long time, and was in the barn when I bought the house. So it hadn't been run for a long time, but I did actually get it going a couple of years ago. But I decided just to keep with my my electric strimmer that I use myself. So I decided to sell this. Hadn't been started for another 2 years, so I sold it basically as a non-runner. Well, running, but needs work, needs a tune-up. Had various wear on it as well, rusty and stuff. So I sold it for £30, which is good because it's a good brand. As you can see, it's a Ryobi. Yeah, and the guy picked it up and presumably is happy. Here's an interesting sale because the person offered me £35 on Facebook, which I agreed to, but they later cancelled, saying that their husband has bought one. But at that point I'd already posted it because they wanted me to deliver it, you know, via courier, and I'd sorted all that out and stuff, so I couldn't cancel it. So I sent it anyway, and really their husband should have took back the one that they bought, I think, because there's a lot of time goes into packing and stuff, especially this sort of item. So yeah, sorry, I wasn't going to refund it. I sent it out, and she said she would sell it on, basically. So yeah, this was interesting because it came with the genuine Kircher hose pipe, although that had been removed from it, although it looked all brand new. So I decided to sell just the portable reel unit here. So I did that, and it sold for £30, which was good. It's brand new, still had its cardboard tag on it, as you can see just there. But I've kept the actual hose pipe to sell to a Facebook marketplace by a later date, once I've checked it, because I don't know why it's been removed. It doesn't look like it's ever been used, but it is all sort of screwed up, so I need to put some water through it, check there's no leaks, and then I'll be able to sell it, or I might actually keep it. So yeah, but £30 on just the reel was pretty good for genuine Kircher hose reel. Now these cones were, I thought were a bad buy really, because I thought they were worth a lot more. I thought I'd be getting maybe £10 each for a cone, and maybe do bundles of you know, bring them down to like £5 each, but sell like 5 at a time. But they don't seem to have really any value. Second hand, you can buy them new on eBay quite cheap, so I bundled them up, all the 13 that I had here, for £30. I had a few people interested. One person wanted me to wrap it in some sort of wrap for a courier. Didn't really want to do that, because he offered me £10 for the lot, plus I'd have to do this wrapping, plus waiting for a courier to come and pick it up. Didn't really want to do that for a tenner. So I held out for another buyer. Another buyer wanted his brother to collect them. He let me down, and then somebody wanted to pay £30 for all 13, no haggling, for his photography studio. They were perfect for what he wanted, because he wanted to put them around his studio equipment to stop people from pulling at the camera setups and that sort of thing, as they're waiting to get their photo taken. So he was happy with them, and I was happy to see them gone. This was another sale that I took a bank transfer on. This was a hot water urn. It was basically brand new. I think it had been used once. I'm not 100% sure, so I had to sell it as used. I had it on eBay £50, and I had it on Facebook £50, and somebody offered me £40 on Facebook. So I was happy to take that, although he couldn't pick it up for a week, but he was willing to leave £20 deposit via bank transfer for me to hold on to it for a week, which I did. And then when he came a week later to pick it up, he paid the other £20, and he was going to do some home brewing in it. So yeah, he was very pleased with it, and it was perfect for that. This was another item that's gone postable on Facebook again. £25 delivered, but it will only cost me, I think it was £3 to post it. This is an ice bucket by Red Bull. I think I possibly could have got more for this, I'm not sure. It was a nice item, ideal for a man cave or something. And yeah, it sold on Facebook for £25 posted. They paid via bank transfer, and yeah, happy with that. This was an item that I got from my contact. It came as a part of a bundle. It's not really worth a lot. They sell for about £8 delivered on eBay. It's basically a cardboard cutout that you put your phone in, and it magnifies your phone to create a little TV effect thing. I decided to stick it on Facebook for £5. It was brand new, and it sold pretty quick, and I was pleased to get rid of it. Now this was a nice item. This was a large horse, a vintage pedal horse, and the idea the toddler child would sit on it, pedal these pedals, and it will roll. It's got little rollers on the feet, and that means it will roll along the floor. This one was covered in rust, but some people like that, so advertised at £100. Somebody offered me £80, which I was pleased to take because it was on eBay for £100 as well, plus postage, but it would have been a bit of a nightmare to package this and send it out, so I was happy with £80 and they'd just come and collect it. She was really pleased. She was going to use it as a garden ornament. This is another item I got from a contact. This is a Hoover, genuine Hoover, a vacuum cleaner called Alks, and it's a 2000 watt one, ideal for pets, and this needed a little bit of cleaning when I got it. The filter was caked up, cleaned all that out, got it running really well, stuck it on Facebook for £25. I also had it on eBay, but it sold pretty quick on Facebook, and yeah, somebody came and picked it up, saves me packing it. This was something that I'd had on sale for ages, maybe 2 years, on eBay and Facebook, and no takers. It's mainly because it was quite rusty, as you can see here. There's a lot of rust on it, and it's not old. It's quite a modern one. I mean, the ones that from the World War II and that sort of thing, they fetch a decent price, but this was just a modern one, but it was just stored in a damp condition, and had some damage on it, so I'm happy to sell this. The person offered me £5, and because I'd had it for so long and it was all sort of rusty and seized up, happy to get rid of it. So yeah, they came and gave me £5 for it. So thanks for watching that, guys. Hope you found it interesting. Hope it's encouraged you to put some things on Facebook, because it really is a viable platform for resellers at the moment. And please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye for now.